I've talked a little bit in some of my other videos about the physical impacts that emotional abuse from my in-laws, manipulation, and emotional and spiritual abuse from my own parents and from my brother. I've talked about some of the physical impacts that that's had on me, but one of the things that I noticed while we were in the middle of trying to move, so we were selling our house, we were buying a new house, packing up our 6 kids to move, and during that time, I had a migraine that went on for about 6 weeks and nothing would touch it. That was the level of stress I was under. Nothing would touch it. None of my medications that I was taking none of the ones that I take as a prophylactic measure to protect against them, none of the ones that would usually give me some relief, I was getting no relief. It was the worst migraine I've had ever, and nothing would do anything for it. And finally, after a couple of weeks of just not being able to get anything to work, I went to the doctor and to the urgent care, and they gave me an injection of Toradol, and that gave me 12 hours of relief. And then the migraine came back. So when people talk about how emotional abuse and spiritual abuse, they don't leave physical scars like physical abuse does. They do leave physical scars. It's just that so often it gets missed because the symptoms aren't directly traceable usually. And that was something I observed too, that, several of my kids developed panic attacks and anxiety during this time. And I had that terrible, terrible migraine. And so there were symptoms, but it wasn't like bruises and blood that is easy to see in a physical abuse situation. So I just wanted to share that as a stomach indigestion. I mean, there's so many. You can actually look this up and see, but so often symptoms that people assume are illness can be from the constant stress that your body is under if you are experiencing emotional abuse, emotional manipulation, spiritual abuse, mental abuse. If you're dealing with an abusive person so much of the time, your body does start to respond to that stress.